Hi Capricorn, welcome to your mid-month reading for July 2020. This one is very interesting. It's very dramatic too. And there are a lot of warnings for you currently. And a lot of intuitives, a lot of readers say, "Oh, be careful not to get in your own way." It's a phrase I use a lot. But I don't want to be dramatic, but I do see dire consequences if you do get in your own way or if you do let the petty take over. And I know it's so hard. It's really hard. And I see it's going to be a struggle for you. Revenge is just calling your name toward the end of this month, and Spirit is really asking you not to give in because you can lose a soulmate. You can lose focus on your finances. It's interesting. I try not to be dramatic, but I also try to be honest about what I see. And it's not always other people. In this case for you, I'm seeing it's both. I'm seeing it initially started as someone else being not so great to you, and then it ended in, all right, well, should I take the opportunity that's in my lap to get back at this person? I also want to apologize, my light. I lost daylight because I wanted to get all these earth sign videos done tonight, and you just had such a really important message, and I was really in the zone while shuffling for you. I just really wanted to get it to you tonight, especially before the new moon tomorrow. So all these readings, I'm trying to give the signs something to meditate on, something to focus on going into the new moon. Leo season is going to be really, really interesting for every sign. I've been talking about it on my Twitter, my Instagram. It's going to be a really intense time, whether you're single, in a relationship, dealing with a breakup, or all three, which I see here in your case, literally. It's a make or break time, and I feel like karmic. You have the same spread as Aquarius and also as Taurus, which I just finished. You have the same cards in relation to something different. It's really interesting. Aquarius, toward the end of the month, they have an ex coming back heavy, really, really trying to pursue them. And you have that as well. But it's two completely different energies, and I'll explain that. Karma is a big theme for you as well, and that was big for Taurus. Justice came up for you as it did for Taurus. I don't know if you have Taurus in your chart. It came up a lot more so for Taurus than for you. Yeah, you have like a mix of everything here. You have a lot of sword cards. Temperance came up twice for you. So I think that's your big goal. That's where I feel the most energy from you. I think that's the main theme, but I feel the most energy toward the end of the month. And it's just too many cards for me to show you right now front facing. So when I lower it, I'll just let you know. I just want to give you that face-to-face chat because I'm a Capricorn rising, and I know where all this kind of fits in, but I see so many different scenarios for all my Capricorns. So this is for your sun, moon, and rising. I don't do Venus. I'll do separate love videos probably in a week or so. I'm kind of revamping my channel. More on that later though. I will get started with your reading because I feel like this is going to be a long video. I apologize again in advance for the lighting, but I think we're pretty good. So before I get to the theme of pettiness and the theme of revenge, I guess I should start with how you could potentially get there. And I should just say that you do really good. I feel like you're either currently or this close or about to be in a space where you're really almost done healing. I don't believe anyone is ever fully healed. There's always work to do. But I feel like you close out cycles in regards to different scenarios in terms of healing. And you're really, in the beginning of the month, you're pretty much closed out a certain cycle. The Judgment card starts out your spread. You literally have 4 major arcana starting out your spread. As I was shuffling, I got a little nervous, so I was cutting the deck multiple times to make sure But no, you start this time period out with four really heavy cards, four major arcana. The first of that being Judgment, as I said, and it was clarified by the Eight of Swords. So this is a very interesting little duo here. I will say this is putting an end to something for me. I almost got the feeling that you're calling for a reckoning of sorts, or one is definitely being placed on you with this Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords is always, I don't want to say self-pitying, but it can border on that. So I think you're done with the other party. You're done with dealing with their actions. Now you're kind of dealing with your own. You're dealing with how you handle grief. You're dealing with how you handle betrayal. You're dealing with how you handle loneliness, because this can also be a card of loneliness here, or feeling alone and no one really in your corner. So you're placing almost a reckoning on yourself with this Judgment card. You're calling into question your bad choices and your coping mechanisms. That's a really big thing for you too right now. Things are coming into light, or you're just seeing things for what they are. You're seeing yourself for who you are. Following that is the Justice card. So this is Libra energy. This is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy, but I'm getting more Leo for this. This is more self-accountability, fighting off toxic methods of coping, fighting off temptation, really doing the hard work. I also do kind of see this as some kind of victory. I did get the feeling that money is coming to you, because you did have Pentacles show up toward the middle of this spread and toward the beginning of the second half of this month, which is pretty soon. So yeah, this could be a legal victory, you fighting to win a legal victory. But I'm seeing this more internal. I'm sorry, my throat is so dry. But this is, again, more with the self-accountability, more recognizing toxic behavior, bad habits. You're really on a self-improvement kick right now, or you're about to be. And it's really cleansing, it's really healing for you. You're dealing with someone else's betrayal, you're dealing with someone else's dishonesty, but again, you're really starting to question your own here with this Eight of Swords. I also see that you know that you're fighting a cycle here, and you know that there's someone in your past who's still lingering, and you know that person, it really isn't good for you, and you know that they're hindering you, you know that their energy is keeping away abundance for you. And I do see this as you fighting the want for this person, because regardless of what they've done to you, regardless of how they've made you feel, I do still see the desire for them here, especially given, what's toward the end of the spread. But then with the Judgment and the Eight of Swords, you're seeing this person for who they are, you're seeing yourself, and you're questioning why you would want somebody that toxic, or how they ended up in your energy. You're extremely motivated, but it's really weird, because I see you doing the work, but at the same time, I still see you leaving a door open for this person. This also could be a legal battle, a divorce, and you kind of this person kind of has to be in the picture until this whole thing is settled. With the Seven of Wands, I always feel like this is more of a fight to stay grounded. It's more of a fight to stay centered and to really live your best life, and getting rid of all the things that are preventing you from doing so. Yeah, but some of you are, this area right here is you reckoning with a separation, and you dealing with the aftermath of it and really trying to move forward from it. I don't see the question of should I stay or should I go. You've left already. This is done. You're just dealing with, how do I move forward? In what way can I prevent this from happening again, especially with this Judgment card? I do see you taking a break pretty soon with the Sun card, and this could be just a mental break, because it's a lot of inner work you're doing here. It's a lot of pain you're dealing with. there's a lot of questions there. If you're dealing with a divorce, then that's a whole other different beast. I do see at some point you do get some kind of a break. Maybe this is a literal vacation for some. If this is a divorce or if this is a breaking up of a family unit, this could be the fact that your children are a center of happiness for you, and you're starting to see that, not that you didn't know already. You're starting to really let them help you heal. For some of you, you could be taking a vacation. But given that it was clarified by the Two of Cups, I do see this as you meeting someone that is completely different, that kind of drags you out of the abyss. They're a breath of fresh air, so they can feel like a vacation. It's almost like they're rescuing you from the type of person that you normally go for, the type of person that caused this judgment and the Eight of Swords. And there's this energy that once you got rid of your toxic traits, you attracted someone on this vibration. You attracted your spiritual match with this Two of Cups, because a lot of readers say in love readings, you really don't just want the Lover's card. You want this card because this is a spiritual union. This is emotional, not just physical. So once you've done the cleaning, once you've done the accountability, once you've done the reckoning and done the work, because all of that is great, but when you have to actually do the work to get rid of bad habits, I feel like you're ready for a whole new beginning, and you almost immediately draw someone to you that is exactly the type of person that you want. We all know that once you're on a certain vibration, everything you meet at that vibration is positive, especially if you're on a positive vibration. So that's jobs, that's family, that's definitely relationships. So you've attracted someone on your vibration. That's what I see these two cards as. You healed yourself. You're being patient for this long-term commitment, because immediately after this you got the Temperance card and the Nine of Pentacles. So this person is definitely in it for the long haul. This person is even helping you heal in some way too, because you don't even have to really be fully healed sometimes to meet that person. It's just the universe can see that you're on that path, and to help you keep going, they put this person in your path too. So that's what I see this as. You were patient, you were waiting, you were doing the inner work, you've forgiven yourself, you're still in the process of healing. I definitely see forgiveness here, which is interesting given what I see toward the end. But yeah, you're healing yourself, being patient. You're with someone you feel really connected to. There is with all of these cards together, there is a promise of a family unit, if there isn't one already. I even feel like there's some kind of blended family dynamic as well eventually. It's really, really nice energy, and it's energy that you deserve, because healing yourself is not easy. And regardless of whether this is kind of self-pitying energy, you did do it by yourself. So the Eight of Swords, while it is a mental thing, it doesn't mean that it's not an accurate feeling, that it's not something that you're not entitled to feel. It's just you can't stay in this. And the Seven of Wands, I see that's you fighting to get out of this. The Justice card is you holding yourself accountable. It's you getting through a divorce. It's getting through a breakup. So yeah, the result of that is you meeting your ideal partner, you guys building a family unit. Again, literal vacation, children coming into play, a lot of innocence. So the Sun card can also mean innocence too, to me, to where you're going into this fresh. You're going into this with high hopes. Well, everyone has baggage, but you're not letting the baggage you have affect this really, really intense and high potential unit that you're creating here with this person. Yeah, again, with the blended family, I got that might be a thing too, especially since the King of Pentacles showed up. It's funny. I feel like this is your person. A lot of Pentacles. I don't know if this is a literal earth sign, because again, you are an earth sign. But I do feel like this is your person. This is the energy they have. I also do see this as being you, because of course, Pentacles are earth. You're focused on work at some point this month. You're more focused on your finances. You're more focused on creating stability, especially with this Four of Pentacles and all that accountability. Maybe you are also looking at your spending habits, because with the Seven of Wands, I really got the energy of you fighting off your bad habits, your toxic traits. So maybe one of the things that you do to cope is you overspend, or you give away money, or you go out, and it's a lot. So I feel like this Four of Pentacles and this King of Pentacles is you being really firm with your finances, taking a good hard look at them, where you can cut back, how you can grow them, because the King of Pentacles is someone who's looking to like really grow his accounts, his money, his being, his foundation. So you're really questioning how, after you got out of your emotional healing, how you can get into your physical healing as well. There is also this warning to be smart here with money. I do feel like this Four of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles is you investing what you have into starting your own business too, because he is someone that he gives loans, he creates, he helps people kind of create for themselves. So I feel like you're investing what you have. You're loaning money to yourself. I don't see you going out and asking for anything with these two. I see you taking from what you would normally spend and refocusing that on creating stability for yourself. I do feel the energy of self-employment here, but again, it's a general reading. If not self-employment, you are definitely looking to be more independent in the job that you're currently working on. You feel like you can take more of a leadership role right now than what you're currently doing. And this can even be you holding out for a bigger role, you holding out for a bigger paycheck, you kind of letting someone know your worth. And I feel that too with the King of Pentacles. I really feel money here. I don't feel like this is necessarily romance, even though this king could be your new person. I do feel his energy is just slightly in the background here. So he's really a rock for you, and he could even be the motivation for you deciding to take that step in your career and either be self-employed. As I mentioned with the Four of Pentacles too, while I was shuffling at some point, my eye kept catching the Five of Pentacles. And I know there is the worry, homelessness, debt with that card. So I wouldn't go that far with anything like that, but it is worth saying to be careful with your money right now, especially if you're trying to build something or create a more stable life for yourself. There is a need to kind of to keep that in the back of your head, or at the very least try to clear out whatever debt you do have as well. At some point, I will say that work will get more monotonous for you, and it may feel like a struggle to keep going with this King of Pentacles energy and the Knight of Swords. These are both knights, but these are two very different kind of knights. This one is very in your face, going after what they want. They're very mentally intrigued. They're challenged. It's a lot of ingenuity, I feel like, too, innovation, creativeness, originality. Not to say that this person is boring, but this person is more steady. This is someone that goes to a job he loves, but it's the same task day in, day out. It's a job he loves, it's a job he wanted to do, but the day-to-day basics of it may start to be boring, and that's the energy I feel here. Especially since it was next to the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So I don't see that this is a wise time to change jobs. If you are interested in self-employment and you are currently working, I'm kind of seeing the warning here to try and juggle both if it's physically possible, because of course you don't want to overextend yourself and make yourself sick right now. If it is possible and if it is doable to your mental health and your physical health, I am seeing that you should try to keep your current job, your stable day-to-day job, 9 to 5, and do your passion on the side. especially since, again, the Four of Pentacles is saving money and really thinking ahead and being smart. Now moving on, because I did get a whole other vibe here. This is where things get really, really interesting. Now, as I said, these are two completely different energies. Earth signs, dependable, reliable, honest, versus the Knight of Swords, which is not necessarily dishonest, but someone slightly more selfish. Someone who does not take no for an answer. You even feel this person charging at you. While this person is a lot more slow and steady, a lot more respectful, gives you your space, etc. So I do feel like these could be your two people, with this being your past person and this being your current. Regardless of signs, but there's more energy. This can even be your energy versus the person that you're currently with. And you might be getting slightly bored of the day-to-day with your new person because you've created this stable family unit here with the Nine of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. That's the problem with the Lovers versus the Two of Cups. One is slightly more tempting, more sensual than the other. This one is more of a spiritual, stable foundation too, even though this looks like a Leo in the back. So take whatever resonates. I do still feel the money thing is more general thing. It applies to a lot more people. But romantically, I do see things going wrong around this point, which is closer to the end of the month. I kind of get the feeling that, especially since this is where I started seeing similarities to Aquarius. Aquarius had the Knight of Swords, but they had it in a similar theme, in a similar layout. They also had another knight too. And they also had the stable partner versus their ex that hurt them, but then they came into the picture. I do see the temptation here. I see someone trying really hard to get back. Oh, so sorry. Let me just take a chug of water because this is going to be a long one. I'm sorry, just filming videos back to back. I'm talking a lot. I do see someone trying really hard to get back into the picture. I feel like the other person, it's more of an annoyance for you than it is a worry. So I don't want you to take anything to be scared. I don't want you to be scared of anything I'm about to say or take it dramatically, because I really try to put positivity into my readings. But I do see this person eventually being high-key obsessed with getting back into the picture. And I saw that with Aquarius too. Like I said, it's more of an annoyance than a concern for you. It's not something that can hinder you if you do not let it. So I should say that. But I do still feel like this is someone that's just heavy in pursuit of you. And this is going to be someone that, yes, it won't take no for an answer. Very rash, very impulsive, very abrasive, aggressive in his pursuit. But I do see that as this person doing this for a while. Like you holding off because you're in a happy relationship. This person coming in heavy and being surprised that you don't take the bait right away. So then they start getting, a lot more, they take it back a little. They take it down a notch. And it just becomes this really, I don't know if anyone has ever had a type of ex that every month or so, it starts out every day. They're asking you, hey, how are you doing? Can we talk? Blah, blah, blah. They feel like, okay, this is not working. But every month or so you hear from them. Every year or so you hear from them. Then every 5 years or so you hear from them. Even if you two are married or in completely separate relationships, at some point you hear from this person. I feel like that's the energy with these two cards. I feel like right now, especially since it's probably a fresh breakup and you both are kind of in that stage of where, right, you're both healing, you're both moving on. You may have moved on before your other person, or you may have been in a more happy relationship than this other person. And now that they're upset and they're kind of trying to either ruin that, or I'm not sure, but I'm not liking the energy. I don't feel like it's a genuine quest for reconciliation. I feel like it's more, hey, that person's moved on without me. I've really hurt this person, and he or she really derived power from the hurt that they put on you. With this Ten of Swords in reverse, you've gotten over that. You've healed from it. With this Eight of Wands, I feel like this person is coming back to regain the power they got from this Ten of Swords upright. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that this is in the reverse, and I don't like the narcissist label. I know it's another buzzword. It's one that I hear all the time, but there are a lot of people, men and women, that do derive power. They do derive power from being the one that caused the breakup, or they do derive power from being the one that moved on, even if they cheated or just weren't a good partner. And when you heal from that, and when you kind of put that on the back burner, that person feels like their power has been taken away, especially if they see you happy. So this Eight of Wands, I feel like, is them rushing back in to regain their power. Yeah, it will be annoying. With this Eight of Wands too, I feel like they may even try to show up and see you in person. And with this Ten of Swords in reverse, I almost do worry that there will be a slight temptation to backpedal and to give in, because when someone discards you, or when there's some type of unexpected betrayal, you seek closure. So in seeking closure, you could end up back in this person's web. So the Eight of Wands with this Ten of Swords in reverse is kind of the warning to really don't fall for that. Even if what feels like effort being put in with the showing up and the constant contact, because the Eight of Wands is, to me, it's like really incessant contact, especially with this Nine of Swords here. So don't mistake that for them genuinely missing you or genuinely trying to get back in the picture. Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone, but normally, the depth of the breakup kind of signifies how you should move forward. So if it was a really heavy betrayal, I do see the sense that, okay, in that cycle with the Ten of Swords in reverse, there's really no there really is no need to allow it to happen again. End of the month, regardless of whether or not there was a backslide with this past person, I do see you gaining control and banishing them with this Five of Swords and this Emperor. Now, I don't feel like this Emperor is your new person. I feel like this is you, and I feel like this is you as well. And your person is walking back in defeat. Now, here's where I see the revenge, because to clarify, I got the Seven of Swords and I got the Four of Swords. So I would be wary of not sinking to someone else's level, especially since Judgment showed up in your spread and Justice. So the fact that Judgment, Justice, the Sun, and Temperance were in the beginning for you, that tells me that karma was on your side. Now, if you take any action like this, if you take any Seven of Swords, Four of Swords action, that could kind of reverse that. That can kind of put karma in the reverse and bring it onto yourself, if that makes sense. Yeah, just be wary of not sinking to your past person's level. It definitely will backfire with this Four of Swords here. The Seven of Swords, even upright, just tells me it's going to be a very short-lived victory with this Four of Swords. This came out in the initial spread, so this is where you are at initially. This is where you should stay, but if you give in to the temptation, and this is where you could end up for me, because that's where my clarifiers are about. This is a little awkward to say, but I feel like your mentality at some point, especially when you're getting the constant contact, especially when you're hearing things that you really thought you wanted to hear, I swear I heard, now it's your turn to shuffle. Now it's your turn to suffer as I was shuffling. I don't know why that tongue-tied me. But yeah, that's the energy you're in with the Seven of Swords. You want this person to suffer like you suffered in the initial heartbreak. And the Four of Swords can also be you forgiving yourself for even thinking about this. So maybe you didn't take action or any kind of action with the Seven of Swords here. You just really wanted to. And this Four of Swords can be you just thinking, all right, well, I had a bad thought, especially the Seven of Wands here. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to maintain my power. I'm going to maintain my strength with this Five of Swords and Emperor. And I'm going to forgive myself for the bad thought. That's where I hope it's going to go for you, because, again, I apologize. I really feel revenge, and I feel like it's on your end. And I should also say, I feel like your new person's energy is completely gone at some point, or the potential for it to be gone at some point. And this Four of Swords could be you just having remorse because things were screwed up with that person while playing games with your past person. This king really wants long term with you. So please don't entertain this knight, even if it's for revenge. Especially if it's for revenge. Because then, to clarify the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords, I got Temperance. Which, it's a great card, but to me, it just tells me, all right, well, now I'm back at square one, because that was in your initial beginning of the spread. So now you're going to have to heal from losing, not only losing your new potential soulmate or new potential long-term partner, but losing control of all the hard work you've done and all the healing. So then you're going to be healing all over again for two completely different reasons. And then in theory, this past person would have won. Because let's say they only are hitting you up because they see you with this new person, and they just don't feel comfortable with the fact that you're happy now without them, or they're not comfortable with the fact that you've healed from something that they've done to you. If you end up losing this King of Pentacles in trying to get revenge, then yeah, this past person has won. And it's a really hard thing to deal with. It's a really hard to just bite the bullet and swallow. But I see so much good here. And I like that it's more of a road that you have to choose to go down. And it could be either way. On the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords, that doesn't mean that you took that action. It could just be remorse for wanting to take that action. So there is that warning. At the bottom of the deck, you got Strength. A lot of Leo energy. I feel like it's because Leo season is going to be so intense for everyone. I don't necessarily feel like you'll be with a Leo, but it doesn't mean, I wouldn't kill that possibility. At the bottom of my other deck that I used for your initial spread, you got the King of Swords. So I feel like this is you, or this needs to be you, where you made the decision with this Judgment card and this Justice and the Sun and the Temperance, and the King of Swords is you sticking to that. I do want to pull a love oracle deck because you had a really intense love energy this month. Let's see. Mutual symbiotic. This is a beneficial and balanced connection. Both partners have the same feelings, ideals, values, and shared life goals. This is Two of Cups. Definitely Two of Cups here. And as I said that, the time was at 33:33. I'm big on numbers. So please don't screw up this connection for the past. I love that. And then right underneath that card, True Love. This is a divine connection. So this is coming to you. It's gonna come fairly soon. Again, with all the Leo cards and the wands that keep showing up in everyone's readings, I would say it's coming this month into next. I do want to pull one more card. Heart fog, mixed signals, blocked emotions, clutter. So this is Eight of Swords energy to me. It's also Nine of Swords, but definitely Eight of Swords with the fog. You see this person is blindfolded. They can't make any decisions without proper sight. So Eight of Swords, Two of Swords energy. Just get rid of the past. Get rid of someone who gave you mixed signals. Get rid of any repressed emotions, because that could come up as you being tempted to get revenge if you don't deal with the blocked emotions now. I think I'll end our reading there. I do want to pull a more positive oracle card, because I don't like to leave readings with like that kind of note. Oh, Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So I would just say, just focus on the good in your life. Maybe this Four of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy is just you maybe becoming a healer. You did get Temperance twice, so maybe that's your line of work. That's going to bring you financial success. Regardless, you have people around you that want to help you. You have a soulmate coming in for sure, with this Two of Cups, with the Sun, with the Temperance. Normally right before your soulmate comes in is when things are the hardest. The universe will throw curveballs at you before, during, and after, just to see if you're ready. But I think the most important thing for you right now is to stay on that positive vibration. When you meet this person, during your time with this person, because you don't want to risk losing them. If they're at a whole different vibration and you sink back down to your past person's vibration, that's going to repel your soulmate if they're still, a positive, really honest, really caring person. So you don't want to lose this. Yeah, I will say this was a pretty intense reading. I do have a Patreon now. I am not doing extendeds yet, but I do love readings on my Patreon, and I do separate spreads for singles, for those in relationships, and those in a breakup. So if any of those interest you, I have my link to my Patreon in the description box. I also have all my socials. I say this every video, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, I do want to dig deeper into this too, so your love reading is going to be really interesting. But other than that, enjoy the new moon, stay safe, stay happy. Bye.